I am very honored to be here with you today for the Toishan-Oakland Chinatown Patrol Team. Additionally, to being committed to anti-racism, the CARE TA Center is committed to trauma-informed practice. On the right side of this slide, you see SAMHSA, Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration, trauma-informed principles. On the left-hand side of this screen, you see how we are trying to manifest those principles here in this event. So safety and transparency are two principles of trauma-informed care. We're doing it today by giving you a heads up about heavy content. In the next slide, I will share with you just some awareness about content that could cause an extra level of stress so that you can decide how you will be exposed to this information. Additionally, trauma-informed principles are around safety and choice. If at any point in time the content in today's presentation causes significant distress and you want to step away from the presentation, and we know that it's best to feel it to heal it. Additionally, empowerment, cultural, and historical issues are also part of trauma-informed care. And so that's why we brought in examples like musical interludes, like the music video that we just shared with you, to be able to see the beauty from small children to elders in the community, to take us away from stereotypes and really to show the incredible texture and resilience of communities of color. Additionally, peer support, collaboration and mutuality, and empowerment and choice are also trauma-informed principles. And we invite you to choose how you're going to engage in this event. With that trauma-informed approach, I do want to give you a heads up that this presentation includes direct discussion about racially motivated violence, including verbal and physical assault and mass shootings. There is one video in particular, which is from a CBS This Morning newscast, and it shows several videos of Asian elders who are being attacked. And one video they show over and over and over again. And for many of us, it is very distressing to see that kind of an assault. We will warn you before we play that video. And if you would like to, you're more than welcome to close your eyes or to look away so that you don't have to see those violent images. Making the connection between racial trauma, hate crimes in the community, and suicidal crisis. There's a recent article by Noor Yoshira from 2022, which talks about the racially motivated violence, especially directed to Asian ancestry communities, including things like the mass shootings, which happened in Atlanta on March 16th. From the mass shootings to the individual hate crimes that have also happened to individual Asian ancestry elders throughout communities across the United States, we know that that racism, that social oppression and violence can become internalized, turned inward, and it can result in self-hatred. It can result in self-harm, and ultimately it can lead to self-directed violence of suicide. Horrifyingly, right now in the United States, research is showing us that while suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States for all people in the United States, when we look specifically at Asian American youth, ages 15 to 24, suicide is the first leading cause of death. This is not happening for any other racial group in America right now. So that we can bring in the Orange Patrol to share about the profoundly powerful work that they're doing. We know that the work that the Orange Patrol is doing in the community is helping to keep the community safe in so many ways, including reducing the risk of suicide. So I'm going to share with you now an image to explain the idea of the crisis continuum of care. On the left-hand side, there are guiding principles. The top principles come from the medical model, from the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration. And they include things like the idea of individual recovery and culturally responsive services, peer support, trauma-informed, that these values are important to be able to create systems that effectively address behavioral health crises like suicide, like overdose. Underneath that list are a list of peer values. These are values that have come from people who have lived experience with mental health challenges. Some of them are similar to the guiding values from SAMHSA. Some of them are different. So the recovery orientation, the idea of social inclusion and autonomy, respect and hope. We know that from people who have behavioral health challenges, that those values are critically important. So we have combined them together to create for you an infographic to explain this idea, starting off with wellness, recovery, and stabilization. You see a little outline of a person. This is to show us that every one of us on any given day, hopefully has a moment when we feel at peace, when we feel relaxed, maybe even happy or amused, but we're okay. At any given day, we can all experience challenges. And in 2022, from the pandemic to the wildfires, to the systemic racism in society, to the recession, there are so many challenges. And any one of us at any given time could feel overwhelmed by those challenges and have thoughts of self-harm, or have thoughts that we need to use substances to help us to cope with those extremely difficult feelings of stress or anxiety or depression. When our own coping skills are not enough, right? Every one of us has something that we do. Maybe we go for a walk, or we pick up the cat, or we call our best friend, or we listen to our favorite music. When those coping strategies don't work, we have to go out to the community and get support there. And that's that second layer here, the community-based intervention. This is when we have semi-autonomy, because it's an interaction between a person and a provider. There's a collaboration that's happening. If that level of support is not enough, that's when we have to go to that institutional level of crisis intervention. So when we're first having that experience of stress and we're starting to feel like we are unable to cope with it, and we start to have thoughts of self-harm or using substances, we might reach out to a crisis line or a warm line, or we might call an outpatient mental health provider. And those people might be able to help us to recover, or they might realize that we need a little bit more help. They might call in a mobile crisis team, or maybe they encourage us to reach out to community-based peer support, like a peer support crisis center, or a residential service that is a 23-hour space. They're oftentimes called crisis recovery centers, where you go and you relax on a chair, and that helps you to calm down and to get support. Maybe have a nurse look you over to see if you're okay. But the important thing is it's not going to an emergency room, because in an emergency room, there's so much crisis happening, right? People are having heart attacks and all sorts of things. That's an environment that oftentimes does not help people to calm down and recovery, but instead keeps the stress at high levels. So we know when we can help people recover in the community from crisis, it's oftentimes most humane, least costly, and oftentimes most culturally responsive. If that doesn't work, we might need to actually start to think about that institutional level. And maybe we have to go to an inpatient psychiatric hospital, or maybe if laws have been broken, we have to go to a juvenile or criminal justice system where we will interact with psychiatry in the form of forensics. Today, we're going to hear about the Orange Patrol. The Orange Patrol is at this community level of intervention. Because as I shared before, there's a direct correlation between racist hate crimes and other issues that can happen. Violence in the community can be internalized to lead to so much stress that they can result in a behavioral health crisis. So the Orange Patrol is a critical component, kind of a little bit like a mobile crisis team, because they're right there, but a little bit different. And we're going to hear about their work in just a moment. So importantly, down at the bottom of this slide, you see that there are several things that are helping to keep each of these different components along the crisis continuum working together effectively. On the right-hand side, you see assessment, communication, peer specialists. So if I call the crisis line because I'm having a hard day and the crisis line says, you know what, Eliana, you really should get to a crisis residential service. Hopefully that warm line or crisis line worker is going to call the crisis residential service and let them know that I'm coming. And this is what is challenging me right now. So I don't have to tell my story over and over and over again. And so the assessment or communication between each of these systems is really important. On the other side, having a suicide safety plan. We know this can help people, like a wellness recovery action plan or psychiatric advanced care directive, to help people to have the most autonomy and personal choice as they move through different parts of this continuum.
My name is Elaine Peng, the Executive Director of Mental Health Association for Chinese Communities. First, I would like to take an opportunity to thank the Crisis and Recovery Enhancement Center for giving us the chance to do this presentation. I also would like to thank NAMI California for their long-time partnership and support. Early last year, the country saw a dramatic increase of hate crimes against Asian American members. You probably saw the news from the TV station or newspaper of the Atlanta shooting, but we are experiencing hate crimes in person. Yeah, just like Hanina talked about the radio. Yeah, so when I saw the elders become the push to hit it to the ground and beat, my heart was broken. And if my Adrian's parents were attacked, the crimes are general and hate crimes against Asian American in particular also have a great mental impact on our community. We must do something. We must do something about it. Mental Health Association for Chinese Communities is headquartered in the East Bay. Oakland Chinatown is the culture center for the East Bay Asian community. Yeah, the high crime rate in Oakland Chinatown not only infect the residents there, but also the Chinese community in the entire region. To improve the safety of Oakland Chinatown has become our priority. After consulting with numerous parties in the area, we decided to form the Toishan-Oakland Chinatown Patrol Team. It's not an easy task. We had almost zero funding. There are also no similar successful program that we can learn from. So we have to figure out ourselves by trial and error. In the beginning, many people didn't believe that our program will last long. We were not sure ourselves either. Today, we are happy to report to that as we speak, we had patrolled continually for 423 days now. Now I'm excited that our program assistant Rachel Chen and Bruce Ren to go over the details. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So happy Thursdays. My name is Bruce Wan. I am the program assistant for MHACC and also the one of the active patrol team members for Oakland Chinatown. I patrol the street of Oakland Chinatown almost 4 days per week or 5 days per week. And I'm seeing awesome things happen within the team, and we help a lot of people in Oakland Chinatown. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel, and I'm one of the other program assistants here at MHACC. I got acquainted with MHACC because I heard about their mission to sort of destigmatize mental health, not only in the Chinese community, but in our entire society as well, step by step. And I really stood by their message because we don't really see sort of these organizations that really stand by their values. So I, really stood by their message, and I reached out and joined their organization. So if we can start the presentation today, and Yeah, this is our organization, the Mental Health Association for Chinese Communities, better known as MHACC, and we'll be referring to the acronym today. And on the next slide, this is just a short video to give you a background of our organization.
In Chinese culture, the stigma of mental health is very severe, causing major strain to families and communities across the nation. Studies have shown that Asian Americans have the lowest rate of receiving medical treatment for mental illness in the United States. Patients and family members don't know where to get help and fear the consequences of reaching out. In response to this crisis, the Mental Health Association for Chinese Communities, formed in 2012, has been serving the community through providing support groups, workshops, professional courses, and a helpline to all of those in need. All of our services are provided for free and have expanded to California and beyond. We have served over 800 families and organized more than 150 educational courses. Tens of thousands of people have benefited through our various programs and resources. We will not give up any opportunity to save a life and continue to spread mental health awareness to better the Chinese community. Thank you.
I'll be going over the call to action section, and sort of the question we're asking ourselves are like, why was this safety patrol team needed, right? What did we see in our community that sort of prompted us to think about some sort of program to give a peace of mind back to the community, right? So if we can hop on to the next slide, please. So what did we notice in our community? Well, over the course of the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been a significant rise of anti-Asian hate crimes, and most of the victims tend to be, most of the attacks are targeted towards women and the elderly population. And most of these attacks are very sudden and often are very violent, as I'm sure many of us have seen before. And because these are very sudden and unprovoked attacks, it caused a great deal of mental stress to the entire community in general, because there was no means of protecting oneself. Many people were afraid to sort of leave their homes because of these attacks. So this also affected a lot of the small communities in the area, because without foot traffic, there are no customers, and these are small and local businesses, so having customers are very pertinent to sort of supporting their business. And in the Oakland Chinatown, we saw a lot of small businesses that have been there for almost 20 years had to close down because of this. And not only that, but these small businesses were also attacked, and it was very difficult for them to financially recover from this, but it's also very stressful because, as we mentioned before, these attacks are very violent and there's no way of sort of protecting yourself or processing what happened. So next slide, please. So this will just be a short video. It's a CBS This Morning report of the Asian American hate crimes. So if we can just play the video.
Okay, another really important story not getting a lot of coverage. Officials in Oakland, California's Chinatown have created a special response unit after a string of violent attacks targeting Asian Americans. Some of the assaults were caught on video, and let me warn you right now, they are disturbing. A man was seen last month pulling money from a customer's hand at a store before taking off. Another suspect slammed a 71-year-old grandmother to the ground, yanking her purse so hard that the strap broke off. And here, this one is really disturbing. A 91-year-old man shoved so hard, knocked to the ground.
Oh my gosh.
A man identified as Yahya Muslim is in police custody in connection with this incident. He was apprehended after actors Daniel Day Kim and Daniel Wu shared this video online, offering a reward leading to an arrest. Our Weijia Jiang asked White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki about the violent attacks. She says President Biden will not stand for it.
I'm not aware that he's seen the videos, but he is concerned. Attacks, verbal attacks, any attacks of any form are unacceptable, and we need to work together to address them.
According to a UN report, there were more than 1,800 racist incidents against Asian Americans from March to May of last year. As you know, President Biden signed an executive order to prevent Asian Americans from being targeted. It's largely to direct the Department of Justice to prosecute those crimes.
Yeah, it's symbolic, but it's significant. I mean, and what's really significant, if you look at this number, nearly a third of Asian Americans report have been the target of slurs or jokes since the pandemic began.
Thank you. So that was just to give an idea of exactly what was going on. And in the next slide, we'll actually see a video. Well, it's another video. It's quite a short video. And just to preface this is just to show that our community recognized. Sorry, there was a question in the chat. Is there going to be a trigger warning?
So Esther is asking if this is another video that people should be aware if there is an image that is going to be potentially distressing for people to watch.
The next video is just a short clip of protesters, or protesting against the anti-Asian hate crimes. It's, I think, a really short video, but I don't think there is anything in there. Yeah.
You yell out, I got your back. And that's what we said to each other. You feel me? Taliban! I got your back! 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 I got your back! Yeah, baby, there we go.
So this was just to show that, you know, the community came together and recognized that this was a very serious issue that has been going on. So coupled with that, we sort of thought about, this prompted us to see, like, maybe we need to start a program in order to, you know, make this a better situation.
Okay.
So that was just the video that we just saw. So, you know, why specifically Oakland Chinatown? Like, there's also San Francisco, right? So we chose Oakland Chinatown mainly because a lot of the attacks have been, anti-Asian attacks have been happening there. And this sort of gained national attention, as we saw from the CBS report. And there is actually a lot of cultural and historical relevance to the Oakland Chinatown area, it being one of the oldest Chinatowns in the United States. And it was settled in around the 1850s, shortly after the gold rush. And in 1906, after the San Francisco earthquake, and, you know, there was a fire that wrecked most of San Francisco Chinatown. So thousands of people actually relocated from there over to the Oakland Chinatown in order to rebuild their lives. And, you know, Oakland Chinatown is sort of the community center of the Bay Area, because a lot of people come in for, like, to eat dim sum, to just eat at local restaurants, or, you know, boba runs. But a lot of people go there to run errands and do grocery shopping too. So a lot of people come in just to either enjoy their time or to run errands. And this is sort of a place of unity, because there's so many backgrounds, so many people that make up the Oakland area. And these cultures are shared through, you know, food and just connection with each other. Also, there's a large concentration of Asian elderly in the Oakland Chinatown, and many of them do have, like, a language barrier. So it's often difficult for them to look for help or even get help, because they don't necessarily know how to communicate what they need. And also there's sort of like a fear of revenge and retaliation if they do report the crimes. So most times they will just, you know, sort of deal with the trauma on their own and not do anything further, because they're afraid of being retaliated against. And as I mentioned before, there was a worldwide attention on the anti-Asian hate crimes, specifically in Oakland Chinatown as well. And most of this happened because of media and reporters and speaking up of many well-known celebrities. So why did MHACC get involved? MHACC, we've been helping people with mental health issues long before the COVID-19 pandemic, but we've also been helping a lot of people in the Oakland area. And, our volunteers have been regularly visiting the Oakland Chinatown to help homeless neighbors with mental health conditions. And over the years, we've actually been able to connect a lot of them with their families, or at least found the right facilities for them to further their care. So through doing that, we have a really good understanding and good connection with the community at large. Our mission is to sort of safeguard the mental health in the community. So when the increased crime rates in Oakland Chinatown happened, we saw that there was an increase in mental stress in our neighbors. So we decided that we need to do more in order to help. And the safety patrol team as an idea sort of became the most obvious option that we could take. So this is just a data. We conducted a 3-day survey and interviewed around 171 pedestrians. And what we found that a large population of the people coming in were from nearby cities such as Alameda, Marin, Contra Costa, San Mateo, San Francisco, Santa Clara, San Benito, San Joaquin. So that was 56% of the people coming in, and around 37% were Oakland Chinatown residents. And surprisingly, there were 2% from abroad and 5% of people from other states. So we also conducted another 1-day survey on February 16th, and we surveyed around 10 streets. And what was found from that survey was that there were 14 homeless neighbors, and 13 of the 14 seemed to be mentally ill. So after we conducted these surveys, we concluded that we needed to form a safety patrol program. And this was sort of the best course of action that we can do in order to address the safety and mental health related issues in the community as a whole. So now I'll be going over getting started. How did we form this program? And more specifically, how can a small community organization have such an impact? So what we did, we first identified our 3 main goals. The first one being is to reduce the crime in Oakland Chinatown through our efforts. On this as well, we sort of wanted to bridge the gap between the community and Oakland PD because there was a language barrier, as I mentioned before. So our patrol team, we wanted to make sure that we can help the victim and then provide them with the proper care or report the crimes efficiently. So that's sort of how we were trying to bridge the gap. Second one is to destigmatize mental health in the community and sort of to reduce the prejudice against those with mental health conditions. And the third one is to bring unity back into the community. One of the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic was separation of community members because of differences in background. And we wanted to sort of bring that unity that we had in Oakland Chinatown back into the community. And on our next slide, we needed to recruit a lot of volunteers for this because it's not an easy feat to do. And our volunteers our patrol team is volunteer based, and most of our members can only, participate once or twice a week because a lot of them, have work or other priorities and commitments. So in order for us to have one team of at least 16 people per day for 7 days a week, we needed around at least 100 volunteers. So, this told us that we needed to recruit and maintain a large amount of volunteers. And this was a very important task for us. Otherwise, we could not facilitate a patrol team and be effective as we wanted to. So we had to use multiple ways in order to put our word out there. And one of them being a KTSF 26 channel interview, as you can see here. This channel is very popular amongst the Chinese and Cantonese speakers in the area. So we went on this segment to sort of spread our message, and to make it more effective, if you can look to the bottom right-hand corner, you can see a QR code. And if you scan the QR code, you would be taken to our website, which is the volunteer sign up on the next page. That QR code would take you to this page, and it's just a volunteer sign up detailing, the shifts and the age requirement, which you have to be 18 years or older. But if you go onto this website, you'll see more information on that. And most of the communication did happen through WeChat. because it was very popular amongst the Chinese and Cantonese speakers in the community. But back onto the segment that we were on, if we can move on to the next slide. We also wanted to promote the CalHO program along with promoting the safety patrol team, because we wanted to make sure that there were enough resources for the Chinese community and sort of spread the message out there as well. And on the next slide, you will see we also went on a Chinese radio station. It's also very popular in the Bay Area amongst Chinese and Cantonese speakers in order to further spread our message. And on the next slide, you will also see that there is a sort of section on the patrol team. So we tried many ways in order to get our word out there. A lot of it was trying to sort of promote this patrol team to let people know that such a thing exists and please volunteer. But a lot of it was also word of mouth. So I would, tell my friend, hey, there's a safety patrol team in Oakland, let's go and volunteer. So other than word of mouth, we tried to put our word out there as much as possible. So in the next section, I'll hand it over to Bruce, and he'll be going over some of the challenges that we faced in building this program.
All right, thank you, Rachel. So as a new program, we just like a new baby. We have to learn how to crawl, how to walk, and how to stand, and how to run. So we face a lot of challenges. So the first thing first, recruitment. That was the first challenging we have at the beginning. We were having a hard time to recruit the people to join the team because the people do not know what we are doing, and they do not trust us. So that's why we have to use the Toishan Association to broadcast and spread the message to the community. Let them know, hey, Oakland Chinatown need you guys to help, and please join our team. Second, lack of experiences. Most of our team members, they do not have prior security experiences, and they do not know how to handle stressful situation and emergency situation, and also how to help the persons who have mental health issues. Third, shortage of funding. Definitely, we do not have any funding, any financial support to help the team at the beginning. We need money to purchase equipment such as mic pads, hat, pepper spray, and also lunch for the volunteer. Even though we received some of the donation from local owner, community member, but that was not enough for us. For language barrier, most of our volunteers, they do not speak English well, or just speak a little English. So they are not able to communicate with the English speaker, and also the victim who does not speak Cantonese and Mandarin. And also they have difficulty to report the crime and talk with the Oakland PD in English. So, but luckily, the Oakland PD has the hotline for us to call, which have a Cantonese speaker to help the volunteer. And also we have a Oakland PD Chinatown liaison who speak Cantonese fluently and talk with us and help us out to file the report. So these pictures shows you that an incident happened back on April 2021. A young man tried to help out tried to stop an attack, but he got attacked. He got shot on his left arm. This incident actually create another issue for our team is that a lot of team members, a lot of volunteers, they stopped coming, and because they worry about their safety, they're concerned about their safety after this incident. And also the family member, they discourage the team members to come because they want the family member concerned their safety as well. And so the team leader, such as the first person on the left hand side and the second person on the left hand side, the two team leaders, they help out the team to persuade the volunteer to come back and let them know, hey, we have the safety training for you guys to ensure your safety, and a community member will help you out. We help you out to ensure safety as well. And also we have Oakland PD officer on the street every day to ensure our safety. So here is another issue for us is that we do not have enough money to purchase food and offer lunch for the volunteers. We want to appreciate the work of the volunteer. The solution for this problem was most of our volunteers, they gotta bring food from their home or from their backyard. So as you can see, the vegetable they're holding on their hand, that was coming from one of our volunteer backyard. So out of our expectation was that it actually create a welcoming environment for our team. And also it actually makes our team like it's more family oriented. So it got our team to get together. Wow. Oh, so I gotta hand this over to Rachel. She will talk about the volunteers.
Thank you, Bruce. So yeah, I'll be going over the volunteers. We want to know like who are our volunteers and why do they want to make a difference? Well, as I mentioned before, a lot of our volunteers, they're regular day people like you and me who have work and other commitments. But one thing that we realize that sort of connects our volunteers together is that they are people with compassion for their community, and they recognize that they want to, that there's an issue and that they want to be part of the solution. And there are a lot of diverse backgrounds within our volunteers. And it's only people in the in Oakland Chinatown, it's actually volunteers from all over the Bay Area. Here you can just see, sort of get an idea of how many volunteers that we currently have. This is a screenshot of the participants in a WeChat group for the Orange Patrol Team. WeChat we utilize because there's a lot of Chinese speakers and Cantonese speakers. So we just use one of the most popular communication apps, but this is only for people who speak Chinese. For people who speak English, there are other means of communicating with them to sort of let them know what are the tasks and responsibilities. And on the next slide, that, this is how we assign our tasks. So if you look onto the upper right-hand corner, you sort of see this Excel sheet with a bunch of information. This is how we delegate the responsibilities per person, per team. So for example, one person would be responsible for making the 911 call, another person would be responsible for collecting evidence, and another person may be responsible for consoling the victim and sort of helping them at the incident. So, this is very specific because we need everyone to know what their responsibilities are in order to not only ensure the safety for themselves, but also ensure the safety of the victim, and so that we can solve the situation, or at least, call Oakland PD or the Alameda Mobile Crisis Team in order to provide further care for the victim or whatever's going on. And other than patrolling and the responsibilities I described above, we also have volunteers doing other duties, such as buying food for our volunteer and cooking as well. We also provide weather information of the day because we do patrol 7 days a week from 10 to 4 p.m. So it's important to know and make sure our volunteers are comfortable as well and dressed for the occasion. And yeah, if you just see, there's an example of a sheet of how we delegate the responsibilities and sort of alert the volunteers of the weather for that day. So this is a daily report that details what happened that day, what was going on, how many situations happened. And this is very good for not only the volunteers because it sort of serves as a debrief for them, but also it helps the community at large to be aware of what's going on daily. And on the next slide, we also have a weekly report or a weekly newsletter that also serves as a weekly report. And again, it details the events of that week. And it's very important for everyone to be updated as to what's going on as well, especially our volunteers, so that they can be aware of what's going on, what to anticipate for the next week. Currently, we have around 150 dedicated and active participants who patrol from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in shifts, because not everyone can volunteer the entire session. And we chose sort of this from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. because we realized that it's around the most busiest times in Oakland Chinatown. A lot of businesses actually do close their shops either prior to 4 p.m. or at 4 p.m. So once that happens, not a lot of people come into the Oakland Chinatown. And as we mentioned before, there is a diverse background of volunteers ranging from 18 and up. Each volunteer is equipped with safety equipment. So other than the orange vest you see there, they may have whistles on them, masks, hand sanitizers to ensure their safety through, the situations that they have to encounter daily. In the summer, there's actually some students coming in from Berkeley to volunteer as well. And, despite the rain or shine, our volunteers diligently work regardless of the circumstances because they recognize how important their role is. This is just to show that we're not always making 911 calls, but our volunteers, for example, if an elderly has fallen, our volunteers would be there to help them. Sometimes it's just also boosting morale for community members. We've received some feedback from others that they feel a lot safer when they are in Oakland because they see a large population of our volunteer members patrolling the streets and consecutively. So other than helping out victims of hate crimes or making calls, we also help community members whenever they need it, wherever they need it. You will see that we distributed around more than 5,000 face masks, and we gave away another 200 of a how to report Asian hate crime booklets, which we will see in the next video, and around 600 whistles. So yeah, our volunteer members, we try to just help out the community wherever we can and whenever we can. So sometimes that includes passing out face masks, whistles for safety, and informational packets. And on the next slide, we're not going to play the entire video, but this is just an example of the pamphlets that community members have received. The topic is how to report a hate crime, and it's in English and in Chinese so that anyone can read it and know what to do. So if we can just play the short video. So yeah, as you can see, there was also the English table of contents and Chinese table of contents, and information is translated accordingly. So if we can just move to the next slide. Thank you. So training sessions. Training sessions are very important because we want to make sure that every volunteer knows what they're doing and how to protect themselves should they need it. In order to facilitate these training sessions, we did invite professional speakers, either from Oakland Police Department or the Alameda Mobile Crisis Team, etc. And most of these training sessions went over how to make a 911 call and give a detailed description of the situation, how to protect yourself when you need to intervene, and what to do during an ongoing attack. And volunteer safety is something that we do keep in mind because a lot of our members do not have prior training in technical training. So actually some of our volunteers have the prior technical training. So what they do is that they do also help train the rest of the volunteers. So team members are helping team members. And there's also a debrief that happens. So everyone can talk about what went on, what they felt about it, just to make sure that everyone has a space to communicate what they feel. And as on the mental health aspects, we do have the Alameda Mobile Crisis Team that trains our volunteers. For example, if there are situations where it's really scary and someone has a tool in their hand that may cause harm to other people or themselves, our volunteers are trained to make the call either to the Alameda Boatwell Crisis Team to handle the situation, but not all situation is like that. So it sort of depends on case by case, and it's pertinent that our volunteers know how to identify what is going on and what to do. So these training sessions are very important so everyone knows what to do and how to keep themselves safe and others around them safe. So this is just an example of some of the flyers that we pass out. If you can look at the top, there's like a name. So that details who's presenting that day, what organization or where they're from, and some of the topics that will be discussed, and the location, time, and date. And there's also QR codes and information and website and contact information at the bottom, just to streamline the process. And as Bruce mentioned before, a lot of our volunteers do bring food over to the community center. And this sort of creates a very welcoming place for the volunteers, because not only do you get to share food with each other, but you get to eat the food as well. And our volunteers often do share meals with each other. And this really creates sort of like a family and a community feel within the volunteers. And this sort of allows them to open up and to discuss like what was going on, what happened, just to communicate with each other so they don't have to hold it all in. And this also sort of motivates our members in a way to continue on their mission. And this is just an example of some of the dishes that our volunteers brought from home, or they bought it. The two on the one in the middle and the one on the side, I believe, are a rice cake dessert. And the one on the left-hand side with the red bean, I believe, is butzaiko, which is sort of a Cantonese red bean rice dessert that, you know, everyone quite enjoys. As I mentioned before, our volunteers do share meals together, and this allows them to talk with each other. It's sort of like facilitates a social time for them to talk with each other, catch up, and discuss what's going on. And on the next slide, you'll actually see that we celebrate birthdays with each other. So whichever teammates on duty, whoever's there on their birthday, everyone will celebrate their birthday together. On the next slide, please. So other than our mobile sort of patrol teams, we have 23 stations throughout the Oakland Chinatown area with around 45 participants. And these stationary duties are really important because they notify the teams as to what is going on. And if there is an incident happening on one street and they see it, all they need to do is pick up the walkie-talkie, and all the active patrol teams at that hour would be alert what's going on and who would be the fastest one to get to the incident. And so everyone's interconnected, and they do not move for the entire shift. Most of these stations are, I think, located around local businesses, and some of the volunteers are actually employees of the local business. So it's really effective because these local businesses sort of have a good understanding of the area of Oakland Chinatown, and they can alert everyone as promptly as they can because they're there and they see what's going on. And on the next slide, it's just a video of our California Attorney General Rob Bonata, who thanked our patrol team. And we don't seek out these recognitions, but these recognitions are very helpful, and it motivates our volunteer members because they can see that what they're doing has a direct impact and is actually being recognized by people all over California and possibly all over the nation. So if we can just play the short video.
我咧係非常之高興同埋驕傲，係能夠代表你哋各位，同埋咧為你哋喺加州嗰度爭取。
Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition.
咁咧，對於你哋今日得到呢一個獎狀，你就係即係受之即係非常之高興。
California thanks you.
所以加州係好多謝大家。
And I thank you.
同時我亦都多謝大家。
You have my appreciation, admiration, and respect.
咁咧，我係非常之對於大家係感激亦都係好尊重大家嘅工作。
Thank you for the many hours.
好多謝你哋做咗咁多嘅即係 用咗咁多嘅時間係花喺呢一個事情上面。
The passion and the energy you have given to your community.
同時你哋提供咗俾你嘅同時，你哋提供咗俾你嘅社區你嘅熱誠同埋你嘅精力去保護佢哋。
You have shown through your actions that we can make us safe.
所以咧，你哋係經過你哋嘅行動顯示出你哋係能夠出嚟挺身出嚟帶領，而令到社區安全。
That the community knows best what the community needs to be safe.
咁咧，而家社區嘅人亦都佢哋都好知道、好清楚你哋嘅角色。
So thank you for your service.
所以非常之多謝大家所提供嘅服務。
Thank you for your commitment to a safer community.
從時多謝大家對呢一個為咗能夠達到呢一個安全嘅社區所提出所提供嘅承諾。
And thank you for standing up to the forces of hate.
咁咧，亦都係多謝大家能夠挺身而出，對呢啲憎恨嘅罪行係同佢哋對抗。
I stand with you in that fight.
我咧係會同埋你哋一齊並肩作戰。
As the California Attorney General, I see myself as the people's attorney.
咁咧，作為呢個加州警察長，我認為咧，我係同埋你哋係一齊嘅。
I will always fight for you, and I will always have your back.
我咧係永遠都會係繼續係同你哋並肩作戰，同埋一直都係會大家係互相係照顧嘅。
Thank you again, and congratulations.
好，所以多謝大家，亦都恭喜大家。
Since our patrol team existing in Oakland Chinatown, so what we have been done to the community. This is like a score sheet of the Oakland Chinatown Patrol Team to the community. Just like you went to school, you got a report card from your school. So in the past 400 days of the patrolling, we report 71. We make and providing 71 reports to the Oakland Police Department. We help and assist 20 homeless neighbors to go back home, and we see proper training from the hospital. We also prevent 37 attacks on the elderly persons, organized 9 anti-Asian hate events, just like peaceful protests against anti-Asian hate. And also we collaborate with the City of Oakland and also non-profit organization to organize the other events within the Oakland Chinatown. Next, please. As we perform the daily patrol, we often provide assistance to the persons who has mental health issues. We offer crisis intervention services. We also promote mental health awareness. We encounter individuals who are in need of assistance, and also most of these individuals, they are not well, they are unwell. We work with the Alameda County mobile crisis teams to provide services for these persons, to provide help for these persons. We want to send this individual to the hospital to receive proper care instead of sending them to the detention facility. Next, please. So this video just shows you that how the patrol teams member work together to help persons who has been through a mental health issue in Oakland Chinatown A Street. Can you play the video, please? Thank you so much.
Are you okay? Not okay. So everything's okay. I call someone to help you. Yeah. So do you want some water? You can get some water. Okay, yeah, it's very, you can. Functioning. Yeah.
I'm trying to function.
So
I was at my friend Scott's house and they let that man come with his lights and they just kept shining the lights on my body and burning me.
oh my goodness.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, I know. I'm here with you.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm here with you. That's
I'm afraid.
That's okay. Yeah. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know, but I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just don't want anybody to hurt you. Yeah.
You can move my car. You have my permission.
But I didn't know what's your car.
That car.
That car is yours.
You move my car.
So
Yeah, you can move it. Move my car.
Oh, okay.
The keys are in it.
The key already there. Okay. 你哋手指呢度，我停部車過嚟呢邊。
The past video just shows you, it actually shows you that how the team members work together to solve this problem. Some of them know their assignment, some of them call 911, some of them call the mobile crisis team, and some of them just jump in to help the traffic.
Excuse me. I think that they're not finished yet, the video, because the lady is home nurse now.
So the video shows you that how the team cooperated to help the homeless persons, and they did a really good job. And this picture discharges only shows you that there was like 21 robbery happening in 2021 during January to February, and now 2022 same time periods just only have 6 robbery happening in Oakland Chinatown since the patrol teams existing. I have 2 things for the city of Oakland and also the Oakland PD to assist and help us out, help the Oakland patrol team, Oakland Chinatown community to reduce the crime rate. Since the Oakland Chinatown patrol teams existing, the crime rate number reduced a lot. Next slide, please. So the pictures right here, and also just want to show you is that we work together with the other people from the other community to help the Oakland Chinatown safe, and also we want to help the Oakland safe. We want to make Oakland Chinatown better, and also we want to make the city of Oakland better. Since the Oakland Chinatown team are existing, we create peace of mind for the community members. We increase foot patrol, increase foot traffic, and we attract a lot of people come back into the Oakland Chinatown to shop. And also we want to let the community know we are here. We have to be together to fight for those anti-Haitian hate. And also we want to inspire other city to create the same program. And also we want to inspire another community to create the same program to protect their community, to help out their community as well. This is just a really short video to show you that how the patrol team's member to encourage the Oakland Chinatown community member to stand out to fight against the anti-Haitian hate. And we want to tell them that we cannot be silent. So these two pictures are just only the two events we participate with the other like the other organization and also other city government. So we want to show you that we want to work together with the community to fight against those hate. We do not want to be silent. We have to stand out to fight against those anti-Asian hate. The plan for future for our team, what do we plan to accomplish in the future? We call that a golden triangle. We have 3 goals we have to accomplish in the future. First, expand, increase the training, and follow-up service. Next. So expand, which means we have to expand the patrol team number. We want to recruit more young persons from college and for our community. We want the team to be diverse. We want to recruit the people from the other community to join our team. Our intention is that we want to make Chinatown better, and also we want to make the city of Oakland better. We provide more resources for the community, which means we have to promote our mental health services resource and provide those resources for the community member. And also we have to establish a program which is the follow-up service to help the victim who got attacked. We have to ensure safety for everyone. It's just not everyone in the community. We have to ensure safety for our patrol team member. We would invite more professional speakers to our team, to our community centers to speak with the team members and also the community members. We would like to invite some of the persons who have prior training, such as law enforcement training or military training, to educate the team members and also the community members to how to be safe when they encounter a attacker. Next. So this message is come from Miss Elaine's cell phone. Is actually come from one of our victim. As you can see, the victim has been through a difficult time after she got attacked. In the message, she said, "Hi, Elaine, thank you so much for your help. For the moment, I have not come out of the deep trauma yet. I'm sorry. I hope that the time will help me forget the incident. I also try to overcome the fear myself. I stay at home all the time. If I go outside, my heart will beat like crazy and my hands will be shaking. I can only think about my children more so that I have motivation to live. I pray with the God every night. May God bless me. That is the only way out." As you can see, the victim has been a really tough time after she got attacked, and that's the follow-up services we want to do is helping out those victims and provide them resources to recover from the mental health issues. Next. The picture behind, the story behind this picture was really, really interesting. The patrol team patrolled Chinatown as usual. That was a really normal day, and they walk on the street and screening the street and look for the crime and just ensure everybody's safe. And the 4 gentlemen on the left-hand side, and she chased down to the team and yelled to the team. And he said, "Hey, stop, stop, stop." And the patrol team member thought he had something emergency. So they ran toward the gentleman and asked him if he needs help. But the story was really surprised us was that the gentleman just want to hand over a paycheck to us because he just want to donate the money to the patrol team because he knows the patrol team has been doing a lot for the community. He said, "This is not a big chat. It's just a really small chat. I just want to help you guys out. I want to help my community as well." So the funding is really important for us. Without the funding, the patrol team would not be able to function just like today. This is the end of the presentation, and thank you so much. And Rachel, Elaine, and I will be here to answer your question.
First, just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, Elaine, Rachel, Bruce, and to all of the volunteers who are part of the Orange Patrol. This was a truly incredible presentation and amazing work.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, and thank you so much for this amazing work. I'm super impressed. Speaking here from Philadelphia, Chinatown. We work at the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation, and so first of all, super impressed. We tried to start something like a patrol team, but it was very, very hard to keep the momentum. So just really wanted to ask how you were able to continue to motivate these volunteers to continue to get involved, and what's the turnover rate of these volunteers? Like, how long do they volunteer for, right? So that's question number one. Number two is that I know that like, at least from our perspective, there seems to be a generational gap between the younger Asian Americans and the older Chinese Americans. And so it's interesting that you chose the platform WeChat. What we have difficulty with is that usually the older folks, they use WeChat, and the younger folks, they don't really use that. So I also noticed that most of the pictures are from older people. So I wonder if there's any intergenerational dynamics there. And so that's one question. And number three is Philadelphia is a majority Black and brown city, so close to 50% of our population is Black residents, right? So there has been a lot of tension, and a lot of it is like historical, right, between the Black community and the Asian community, and so I just want to, I guess my question is. There is some anti-Blackness in our community that we see, like in the Asian community, and most of these homeless people that we see in Philadelphia Chinatown, they don't really share the same ethnic or racial backgrounds with the Chinese residents, and so I wonder if there's any experience you can speak on to promote more unity and cross-racial collaboration on that. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Esther, for your question. It's a very good question. Can you hear me? Yeah, this is Elaine. Yeah, you have three, I think it's maybe 4 questions. So the first one, in our presentation, we talk a lot how to include our volunteer members. Yeah, it's not easy job. Yeah, so you say how long they will be there. I think our captain is since the first day being come with us, but they still working on there. And also we will remember their birthday, remember we keep a very good relationship with all the volunteers. Sometimes we had the other event is for the subway, our surprise or the other things, we will help each other that will help us to get unit together, to keep the volunteer work together, to keep going. And that's the second question, that's a very good question, is for because you say they use WeChat, all is the older people, they use the WeChat. And we create more than 13 Berkeley, the student from the Berkeley University, and they will come from the Berkeley, and they will use the email. We will use the email group to cooperate them, which day they will come. We will schedule them. So we will each a different way to encourage the different age people to join our volunteer group. And the third question is, yes, you can see the picture with David, who is the African American. Yeah, and Yeah, he's my friend, and also we had also more than 4 times the event. We cooperate with the African American, the community together to sing the song, to play the music, dancing, but it's not time to let us to share, but it's very important. Yeah, you said it issues. And some of the volunteer member, they also have that the mind. They said that because I lost the cry, they buy the African American. Some people they don't trust them, but when we get this patrol team, our first things is think about that we must unite. We must hear our community. Let them know this not fair to think about. It's just racist. So that's very important. I think I hope I can answer your question. If you know, I will email you. I will put my email there, and then you can directly to contact us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I will definitely get in touch. I have so many questions, but I'll leave it for other people to ask. But I'll definitely be in touch. Thanks so much.
I was wondering directly if you do groups, outreach with African American groups.
Yes, yeah, we can contact the church in African America, the church, I forget their name, but we will have them to contact them to talk about. They would like to join. Remember one day, but they don't like to take pictures. They had the family have the 8 children. They would join us to get the patrol there. So we will let them to say hi to the Chinese community, the Chinatown Asian community, Vietnamese community. So you say that in other groups, we also outreach the Vietnamese groups and Korean groups. Yes, we outreach the different group for the special population. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question and your response, Elaine. I am so sad that we're at the end of our time here, but I do want to thank you all 3 of you for your presentation. Have a wonderful day.